Alrighty. Kind of finishing up chest and back here. Just a quick one, and I figured it'd be a cool little live stream to touch on our the interview yesterday with Will. 15-minute pop-up live. Could do these every day, man. Maybe we could get vegans and non-vegans in here and ask them, why they're not vegan yet. So if you're not vegan and you're in here and you're not vegan, we're asking you why you're not vegan yet. All right, so I already finished up some heavier bench and dumbbell rows. Now, we're moving on to the last part of the workout, some flies. Flies and stability ball work with dumbbells. All right. All right, this is good for your stomach. Ooh, oh yeah, these are 40-pounders. Dumbbell flies. Ooh, I feel like I'm getting a good range of motion here. We're gonna go for 8. Ooh, oh yeah. Solid squeeze. Whew. And showing everybody that you can be vegan. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Trying, man. Trying to keep the engine going and revisiting the bodybuilding this year a little bit and show everybody you can be vegan and strong and also not take supplements. There's no reason for them. Nice to see you, man. Hey, did you see the live stream yesterday with me and Will? If you haven't seen it, check it out. I actually did a preliminary on it, like a preview for it yesterday before the interview. And then we did the interview. And this interview is the most important interview to watch when it comes to realizing truths and discerning between truths and lies. Check it out, because it's cutting. It's cutting, and really steeping and hearing what Will's saying in it will help you see over the B12 nefarious lie, the deception that it is, and many other lies too. Just looking inwards, developing the inner guidance system. We talked about how everybody, including vegans, we all reflexively default to whatever information outlets are available to us, be it peer-reviewed science, peer-reviewed research, science in general, the enterprise that it is, academia, governmental agencies, and pointed to the engine that runs all of those things, and that's the kind of 1% of 1% wealth power control factor that window addresses all material presented information. All right. Now for back, I'm gonna do some of these. I've already done heavy rows in the other room, but I'm gonna do rows here with the 40s. Just going for sets of 8. I'm already kind of pre-burnt. That's okay, still good burn, good burn. I hope your Georgetown thing went well. That was a, every night I go out there, it gets crazier and crazier. I had like large groups of people. This time, I get hordes of people. One of them was trolls, a bunch of trolls. It's like my first interview. They literally went by afterwards and said, yelled out, eat meat, after the whole, outreach that I did with him. That's the stage of ridicule that we're in, We're in that stage of ridicule right now, as far as the 3 stages of truth goes. Oh no. Right, yeah, because it's crazy, Johnny. Like, a lot of them don't even know, I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. If he did, that's messed up. But I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. But yeah, people don't know. Some people don't even know what vegan is. A lot of people that I work with don't even know what vegan is. Oh, thanks, here, Ron. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just showing everybody, via this new kind of line of live streams, that you can be vegan, you can bodybuild, you don't have to take any supplements, you don't have to concede to any narratives, and you can do that. And that's a thing, But hopefully you didn't get sick, Johnny. All right. Okay, second set. These are actually hard. I might try my third set on the ground with these, but these are not easy on the stability ball. They fire your core. You're really flexing that core. Each time you're repping these out. All right, second set. Flies and 40s. All about the chest. Triggering that chest. Oh, key is here, you gotta be very safe with the trajectory, the line of movement. 3, you squeeze at the top. 4. 2 more. 1 more. Ooh, it's not easy. Great for the chest, though. Whew. Great for the chest. You really feel the squeeze. That's good. Yeah, right. But you didn't know, you're just doing your best. I know what you mean, though. As vegans, we're super attuned, ethically, morally, mindfully. I know I've had dairy, probably even meat, but definitely dairy on accident in the last 13 years. And it doesn't feel good because our soul, we know that we're essentially eating violence. And we've put violence into our bodies. But all you can do is your best. It's a 99% non-vegan world. I completely understand, Johnny. I'm so lucky that my whole immediate family became vegan after me. Cool, yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish my dad and mom would be. I've tried, and they try to be vegan whenever I'm eating with them, which is cool. Oh, me and you have been vegan the same amount of years, Huron. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, my sister's vegan. All right, let's hit up some more rows here. I figure I just do quick pop-ups like this to say hi to everybody. Way to connect with everybody, almost daily. At least every few days I'll be working out. I can actually check my form. It's like a mirror too, this thing right here. It's a nice little double. Check the chat and check my form. The idea with these guys, you're using your lats. You're thinking of a string pulling up your elbow. The idea is your back's doing the work, not your arms. Because you want to build that latissimus dorsi right here. Oh, so let's do it on this end too. Lower back nice and straight. 1. It's like a string is pulling up your elbow. There we go. it's harder for me to do it on this side with good form. But if you're doing it right, you'll feel your lot more than your arm. Oh boy. But yeah, everybody, if you get a chance, check out me and Will's live stream yesterday. I had a lot more questions written down and a lot more content I wanted to touch on. I wanted to ask him about his time as a Korean monk. I wanted to ask him more questions about discipline and meditation. And I had more things I wanted to touch on, but we had a kind of a 45 to 1 hour window. So, you know, it flies by quick, but I think we got the message out nice, strong, concentrated, that as vegans, we want to develop our own intuition above all. Vegan, it starts with ground zero, you know, seeing animals as the beings they are, not objects, and then it proliferates to where we question everything. We become stewards of truth for the collective, for the animals, for the whole. And when we are subscribing to material informations and incumbent outlets, we're conceding our vegan autonomy. We're conceding our thought autonomy. We're conceding really the title of vegan. We're becoming more of followers of authorities. And that's what we touched on yesterday. So, I mean, hey, it's there if anybody wants to see it. Supps, Steven? Right, exactly. Thank you, Steven. Imagine that. Well, it's a reality, so we don't even have to imagine it. People think that. People think you need meat, cheese, milk, and eggs to be healthy, to build muscle, to be strong. And we've all been taught that by profit engines. The two biggest core deceptions of our entire existence is one, we need to eat animals to be healthy. Two, we're all fundamentally separate. And profit engines make sure to keep that in mind when exacting, you know, certain streams of messagings down upon us, and they know those two things inherently, and they know that keeping those things intact makes us better pawns for control, better pawns for the divide and conquer kind of dynamic. So, yeah, you don't need anything from an animal, guys. You can build plenty of muscle on a vegan diet. I'm gonna start putting shorts up on supplements too, and trying to open people's minds to supplements. You don't need to put any of that in your body either. And all that's made in the lab too. You know, let's just eat from the earth, right? I mean, we can just eat from the earth and bypass all that noise. All right. Last set. We're gonna do some flies. 40 counters on stability ball to hit our pectoral muscles. Ooh. You gotta be careful with this one, guys. You have to be mindful of the range of motion. It's not the most natural, so you have to be mindful of the dynamic. And I'll tell you, this enables you to get a really good range of motion because you got the ball giving you some soft support. And squeeze those pecs on the way up. One more. And squeeze. Fun fact about me, I was a personal trainer for a while. NASM certified, National Academy of Sports Medicine. Not everybody knows that. I guess I never mentioned that. It was a while ago. But I got certified through the National Academy of Sports Medicine in their nutritional studies and their kinesiology, their NASM. It's a very bare, general basis certification. And I trained out of 24-hour fitness for a while, had tons of clients. And I was probably the most popular trainer in the gym, honestly, as far as all the clients that I had. But then I realized, what the hell am I doing? So much input, so little output. When you give your all to something, and especially if you're honest, and you want to give your all to something, which I did with every single client, you get burnt out, and then you're working within this exploitative system. In hindsight, that gives you crumbs for the work that you put in. So it finally hit. Oh, chest day, cool. Yeah, doing chest and back today. I started off in the other room with the heavier weights, with a heavy bench, with some dumbbell rows, with some cable crossovers, with some seated rows, and now I'm here to finish it off with these. So cool. Yeah, I think I've got it split, Steven, chest and back, bis and tris, and then legs, and hitting abs every morning and stretching, trying to get back to my splits. I'm like right here, and I want to get back to like right here. So, you know, you can have fun in this embodied life with your avatar, you know? It's the great enjoyment, or so the monks, the Tibetan monks call it. Life's great enjoyment, the great body enjoyment, they call it. You know, it's not what we are. I hurt my sternum like 20 years ago. I don't know what to do. Even a couple push-ups hurt days later. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Reminds me, Johnny, how I pinched a nerve, I think, like 10 years ago doing deadlifts, so I can never do deadlifts again. And when I do, I wake up this pain that's beyond all pains. Like, it is so bad. After I pinched that nerve, for about 6 months, I was in excruciating pain. I'd wake up in pain, I'd go to bed in pain, I'd work in pain. I know how these body problems are, and I know they're horrible. I know you never want to walk into that terrain again. Maybe you could stress test certain light movements, you know? You could stress test like certain light things and see if they would work for you, as opposed to jumping all in. I think I started again, like, I was crippled when I started again. It was like one of those action movies where the hero gets almost killed, and then all of a sudden he's getting worked back up by the nurse, worked back up by the physical therapist, and I was using baby weights, you know, but it helps to wake the grid up again. You know, you can wake that grid up again, Johnny, and just do like all over body workouts, but with like the lightest weight possible. All right, let's go a little heavier for my last set of rows here. I got some kettlebells here. Oh, great point, Stephen, with the bands. Bands are great, right? And I use a lot of bands myself. Great point, didn't even think about that. Okay, I'll use some 50s for kettlebells here. Idea is to think of a string pulling up that elbow. It's not your arm doing the work, but it's your back. 2 more. It's like you're rowing a big boat. Okay, last set. And then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make a big protein-rich meal. I don't know what I'll make yet. I'll see what I got in the arsenal. And I'll get my protein that way instead of taking a protein powder that's built out in a lab. That's literally a vessel of monetization. It has nothing to do with for the good of people that we're subscribing to when we take supplements. It's underneath everything. We can't get around that. There it is. Just eat from the earth. As whole, as raw, as local as possible. Simple instruction. 6, 7, 8. Whew. I actually made a short at Whole Foods today while I was there getting water, so I'm gonna put that up in a little bit. and just talking about a supplement that I found there. I'm just gonna start going to grocery stores and filming. I feel like that's a nice backdrop for videos too. Yeah, bands are great. I like bands for warming up the external rotators. You know, these, where you're going that way, imagine lying down. Those external rotators are pivotal for working out. Okay, we got a question from somebody. Bro, what's up? Shan, shoot your question. With the bands and the external rotators, your face looks sunk in. Eat more chickpeas and rapeseed oil. Oh, come on, Sean. Come on, don't be a sore loser. But the external rotators are basically 3 muscles that are in this, this kind of engine that is your deltoid. And when we're during the day, when we're like doing stuff during the day, say opening a door, reaching for something, pushing something shut, we're using our internal rotators. So when we do stuff like this, it looks subtle, but it is strengthening the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, and there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, trifecta, that are the external rotators. And if we don't strengthen that, we're gonna get a rotator cuff injury. We're talking about the external rotators, big guy. Name the 4th. Want some juicy steak, some juicy fried chicken, as well if you want. No, we're good. We don't believe in killing children on this channel. When you are eating meat and cheese and milk and eggs, you are effectively taking the life of a child, somebody that was 18 to 24 months old, and you're saying my taste, pleasure, my preference, my nutrition, my necessary nutrition is more important than the life of this sovereign being. So we don't do that on this channel. We're protectors, we're actual guardians. Now he didn't. And Rewired, I don't know if you know this or not, but Jesus, if you believe in Jesus, he was an animal rights activist. The last thing he did before he died was overturn the tables of the temple, threw the change and the money on the ground, condemned everybody for what they were doing to his beautiful creatures. There's a lot of posturings out there. A lot of people say that, you know, if Jesus was here again and he was walking in an embodied life, that because he was vegan and because he was a spirit of compassion, and he would be against the meat and cheese and milk and eggs narrative, you know, we'd probably crucify him again because of our inability to see over the lie. Yeah, so if you are for Jesus and you are Christian, you know, you're vegan, or you are being, in effect, very hypocritical to the word. Johnny says, God's perfect world was a Garden of Eden, which was vegan. What do you think of that? No, I can't do a backflip. I used to be able to do back handsprings, 540s, 720s, kip ups with no hands. I was into martial arts for a while. And this year is the year of kind of revisiting fitness. So, what was your question, Shan? No, I haven't wrestled. Rewired. Yeah, you know, it's just not my cup of tea. But I really liked the cultural aspect, the exercise aspect of Taekwondo, and I did that for a while. You know, I still stretch. I still got kicks. You know. If you guys want me to show you a side kick, I'll show you a proper side kick. Just kidding. I don't know, you gotta really want it. But yeah, the crux of this channel, guys, is we see animals as beings, as sovereign individuals, and not objects, numbers to be exploited, consumed, hurt, abused, and bullied. This is a vegan activism channel. I go out on the streets, I ask people why they're not vegan yet. And that's the genesis of it all, but once we unpack things, you know, everyone realizes this whole exercise is in the spirit of helping our brother and sisters see that we've been lied to by profit engines, and to help us make the decision that aligns with our values. Because when we're going around saying, oh, I'm strong, I'm savage, I'm a protector, I'm a guardian, I'm alpha, but then we on the back end of that, we're voting for systems of violence that put little helpless beings with no autonomy over their bodies into situations where their throats get cut, they get spit on, laughed at, sexually exploited. We're voting against our own values, and it's only at our expense. And the ones doing that are the ones that are just proliferating lies into this material world, and those are profit narratives, engines that depend on our ignorance. As per they're siphoning profits into the control, money, power kind of nexus. Hopefully that makes some sense. Shan says, I'm a 17-year-old. I want to be strong and build a body. What should I do? All right. Number one, you go vegan, right? Let's get the meat, cheese, milk, and eggs out of there. Okay? We don't even need to do supplements. What we need to do is we need to eat from the earth. We need to eat the lentils, the chickpeas, the split peas, the beans, the fruits, the veggies. You can have fun with that. You can do Chinese, American, Japanese, Asian, Thai, anything you want. Just get started, like Steven says, just get started. Johnny says, so you can't be more like what God sees as perfection because others don't do it? Got it. And yeah, right? I mean, we are all so hypocritical when we say we're Christian and we follow Christ, but we vote for the antithesis of compassion. Think about that, guys. Does that make sense? Would everybody in the chat here agree that actions speak louder than words? If you guys can, the 10 of you in here, if at least one of you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. I'm trying to grow this channel. We're being beaten down by, believe it or not, our own tribe right now that refuse to see over lies. So it's kind of a mission to reascend. I mean, it doesn't matter, we're going to, but I'm calling on all you guys, if you can, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Anyway. All right, guys, I might get ready to wrap up. Anybody else have a question for a vegan weightlifter who takes no supplements? Do one more question. I just finished chest and back. I did some heavy bench. We did some dumbbell rows, some flies, some cable rows, kettlebell stability ball rows, and cable crossovers. Can you flex your body? I'll flex my arm. So there's my arm. But I'm not going to do a full WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan thing here for you. But the point of these live streams, guys, is that obviously I'm in shape. This is going to be the year of getting bigger, stronger, and getting back into bodybuilding. And I just want to show everybody that you can do that without supplements, on a whole food, plant-based, vegan diet. And you don't have to hurt anybody. You don't need to put a corpse into your body. You don't need to put a child into your body, because that's what we're doing when we're not vegan. We're literally putting violence that's already been exacted on our behalf into our holy temple. And there's nothing religious about that, nothing spiritual about that. It's all savagery and cowardice, really. And we are subscribing to it. And it's unbeknownst to us, because it's invisible. And we've all been taught the same thing. I was taught that for 30 years. And looking in hindsight, I was doing the best that I could. And that's all we can do, is do the best that we can. Those were Buddha's last words, actually. I take vegan multivitamins every day. Is that okay? No supplements, protein powder, none of that. That's up to you, Star. But you don't need to, regardless of what body or what bad actors tell you, on the supplement's behalf. Supplements are made in a lab, and they're made for one reason, and that's to make money, baby. Make money. There's no ethos underneath that, no greater care for the collective underneath that. It's all about the money. And every single thing you find in a supplement, you can find in the vegan diet. And You guys know what I'm gonna say next. And that pesky little critter that's called B12 is all a fake, built out pile of nefarious bullshit that was architected, concepted, and then full sended into the commercial sphere in 1948 to hinder and weaken the appeal of the vegan diet and to make money on a massive aggregated basis. Right now that pill makes $600 million a year. So it all comes down to looking at bellwethers and trusting your intuition underneath. But yeah. All right, guys. This is it for me. I'll see you, who knows, maybe, well, I'm probably not gonna do weights tomorrow. I'm probably gonna run tomorrow. My pleasure. Thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll see you in the next stream. And yeah, let's go vegan. Let's get fit, let's get active. Let's also get out there and speak up for our animal brothers and sisters. Because if we don't, who's gonna do it? And how are people gonna know, you know? Bye, guys.